This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good evening again, everyone. My name is Amanda. I also have Angie here. We are from Brain Balance of San Diego and Chula Vista, and we're really excited to share a little bit more about our program tonight and really support you, the adults who are struggling, in different ways. For those who registered and put down their challenges, we saw issues with ADD or ADHD, so attention and focus challenges, impulsivity challenges, mood regulation. We also saw challenges with executive functioning. Am I missing anything, Angie or Kenny?
Memory.
Yeah, so we kind of got a little bit of everything tonight, which is very, very exciting. So hope we can answer some of your questions, help you understand why you're struggling or potentially why you're struggling, and then things you can do to actually alleviate these issues. Okay. So I guess we just go into it. So I'm Amanda. I'm the center director, and Angie here is our program director. Our backgrounds vary. We have a really strong, powerful team here. My background's in education. I have worked with children, littles, to those who live quite young in their own years. And then Angie, you want to share a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm the program director, but I have my bachelor's in exercise science. I used to work in physical therapy and literally from pediatrics to geriatrics. So I worked with a full spectrum of individuals. So I'm happy to, yeah, be here with you guys today. Hopefully, get some answers for you guys.
Yeah. So, what is Brain Balance, right? Who do we serve? Well, we're a really unique program. We're a research-based, personalized, brain-based performance training program, honestly, designed to support people who struggle with focus or anxiety, stress management, memory, as we mentioned, performance, decision making, and more. A lot of the challenges that you all listed, we serve, and it comes down to how your brain is connecting or not connecting, and then creating for us to be able to create this personalized plan to help you really reach your potential and thrive and meet those goals that you probably have in life and maybe struggling to meet. I've had folks reach out who are wanting to do better in college or wanting to go back to college. I've had folks reach out because they want that job promotion or just performance. They're not happy with it, and so what is going on, right? What can they do that's more? And we even have those who are retired. We have a 70-year-old coming to do an assessment with us next week because even in those years, the struggles don't just go away, right? You don't just grow out of it, as we usually tell kids. And so, really, we're here to support the whole person, no matter what the challenges, cognitively, behaviorally, right, with the regulation piece, because we have anger management is another issue, and depression, anxiety, and socially, even, right? Just how do you connect better with your peers? And then, if some of you are on this just to learn more about how to connect to your coworkers or family members, which we saw as well. That's really key too. I do a lot of those types of neurodiversity trainings to help everyone just be more empathetic, right? And understanding of everyone's unique needs and how do you support it rather than try to always change it or see it as a negative thing. Okay. So I want to empower you to own your challenges, but also help you not struggle. So in this iceberg, I do want to share oftentimes the challenges that you all listed and the ones that we usually hear, whether it's a child or an adult, such as anxiety, focus, memory, organization, regulation, right? All those things that we mentioned already, that's really just the symptoms, the tip of the iceberg. And what people tend to forget is that there's so much more going on underneath the surface that's causing you to see these issues, right? And so really we need so many parts of our brain to work together and work in sync basically for us to thrive and to not struggle. When things are clicking, it doesn't mean we're perfect people, it just means that we're not struggling. And I like to think of the brain like a highway. If things are smooth going, if there's no traffic basically, right, there's no San Diego rain, we're good. But the elements that affect it can be how you take in the world around you, from your sensory processing components, from your five senses and more, to how you balance. What is your core like? What is your body awareness like, or even coordination, to many other components of functioning, right? So everything needs to be working in unison and in perfect sync for us to again thrive and be performing at our best and not struggling. And so in this program, it's really unique in how we learn about you and help you learn about yourself in a way that many assessments do not. So, Angie, when people call and ask, they're constantly wondering, well, what is brain balance, right? What is it about? Even with the kids, it's a very unique program and it's not easy to just explain in one sentence. So, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so in the assessment, I mean, that's really where I would start. We're really looking at all the different areas that Amanda mentioned. And really, what we're doing is we're looking at the whole entire brain. So, the whole person approach. We're looking at, your physical exercises that you're doing here, but then we're also asking questions about, how it is that you manage your stress, or if you're struggling with focus, how it is that you're managing that, coping with that. So we're really looking at all the different pieces. What is your nutrition like? What are, if you have any sensory sensitivities, all of that is going to give us information to just help us continue to tailor the program for you. So really what we're doing is we're looking at the whole entire you, like what makes you. So we do that through all the different physical exercises, like I mentioned, dominance profiling, balancing, proprioception, visual input. So once we have that baseline results, then we're really able to again tailor that program for you so that we can meet you where you are and really start building from there. What we want to do is challenge your brain, challenge it in ways that you haven't challenged it before. And we do that through all the different levels that we have for each of the different exercises. Now we know that
Let
some
me
of you have put on the, oh, what was that?
No, I just want to jump in and say that that's definitely what's also unique about Brain Balance. We're not like other programs that are generalized. It really is tailored to you based off of what we learn in the assessment. And that's why it's so critical to just take that first step to understand, how am I functioning? What is going on? And again, looking at areas that no one else probably has looked at. And as Angie mentioned, pushing your brain to work in ways it hasn't been challenged before. So that's how you build those neural networks.
Yeah, getting out of that comfort zone. It might be uncomfortable for some people, but that's really how it is that you are able to build those connections. You have to get out of your comfort zone, do things that are different, challenging. And for some of you, I know that that might be a struggle. And so we're here to really help give you the tools to really build the foundation to be able to do that. So I know that some of you also struggle with like focus or organization. So we do have that one-on-one performance coach to really help you be held accountable, have you come to the sessions, do the program, guide you through it. It's not, you're not doing it completely on your own. We know that it is going to be a challenge, but again, we're here to really help guide you through all the physical exercises, but then also just to really make sure that we're giving you tools with what you're struggling with. So again, really individualizing it and tailoring it to the session to what you need and what you need that help with. Like I mentioned, nutrition is also just very important. What you give your body is what you're going to get out of it. So just really making sure that we are not intaking anything that's inflammatory. So we walk you through all of those different steps to really make sure that you're again being your best self through the physical exercises, nutrition. We also do sensory stimulation as well. And then we also have our neurotech. So it's really important that we are all of our technology is proprietary, so we want to make sure that we're again stimulating and challenging all the different muscles, whether it's the visual system, auditory processing. We have the technology to really make sure that we're engaging all the different systems in the brain, again, to really help build those networks, those connections, so that the different neurons that are working and activating, if they fire together, they're going to wire together, and that's ultimately what helps that brain grow, those neural connections, those neural networks. And so I know that we've been working with mostly students or kiddos, but we are really expanding into the adult population because really that the brain grows at any age. As long as you can continue to challenge it and as long as you continue to give it that input, it can continue to grow with those networks. So that's really looking at the full approach. We're going back to the basics of development, which is physical, sensory, and nutrition. So that's a
Yeah,
little bit about our program. Yeah.
yeah, that neuroplasticity that Angie is talking about, your brain is constantly capable of developing and supporting your functioning. And to build those neural networks, you have to stimulate it through the sensory and physical components because that's the most powerful trigger for those billion plus neurons in your brain. All right, so
So to give you a little bit more insight as to what this session looks like, so you actually get a kit sent to your home. So you get a full kit with all the sensory equipment that you need, all the equipment, any equipment that you need, you're gonna have it in that kit. And then we also do recommend having a tablet or an iPad so that you can download some of our technology on there, again, to really give you that full approach and to really give you that full effect of program. So definitely the iPad, tablet, you get all the equipment, and really what we're doing is we're guiding you about 45 minutes. At the beginning, it's going to be a little bit slower moving, so we're going to be introducing exercises for you to do during your session. As you go through the weekly sessions, we're going to be adding in more and more exercises so that you're not feeling too overwhelmed, so that it's something that you can handle, really work through. And again, you have that coach to really encourage you and motivate you, because I know sometimes we just need that little push. So as you go through your program, it'll increase, but again, we're here to really help you through that. And then it is going to be a minimum of 3 months for the program. In the assessment, we're really going to be able to take everything that we've gained, just really getting all the information that we need to really let you know a range of program that we need, whether it's 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, all really depending on the assessment and then just the feedback that we get from you. But a minimum of 3 months of programming, we really do start to see those changes, whether it's in, even if it's small changes in, just less anxiety, less, focus, less lack of focus, or if it's your mood, if you're feeling happier. So all of that we're able to talk through, and we actually have progress reports during our program, again, so that you can see where your progress is, and so that we can just make those connections to what you will be seeing at home and how that ties to your everyday life. So any benefits that you get from it, you'll be able to see that as we go through our program. And it's all measured. Every day that we meet, we're going to be recording everything from that session so that you know exactly what you're doing every day. And like I said, we're introducing different levels, different exercises, so we'll be able to guide you through that, demonstrate that with you, and really make sure that you're feeling successful with your program. Was there
and
anything
just
that
to
you wanted
clarify,
to add?
yeah, just to clarify, we don't meet with you every day. We meet with you weekly. That's part of the program. And so each time we do meet with you, that's when we're recording all the data and collecting the data that you've been collecting on yourself, just to see that progress. We're very data driven here, so that there is an end goal, right? And that's the beauty. This program is only a matter of months rather than years. And the struggles that you or someone else has been dealing with didn't just happen overnight, right? So it's going to take time for the brain to change. That's why our program is a minimum of 3 months and needs that consistency and commitment from you. And if you're interested in additional sessions per month, we can talk about that as well. But again, as Angie said, what we recommend will really depend on what we learn in the assessment. And I like to call it a positive snowball effect, where as you begin to train, you really get to see those changes that Angie mentioned. And how could you not, right? As things are connecting and firing in that brain. What was you saying, Angie? What fires in the brain?
Yeah, neurons that fire together wire together.
Yeah, so we want
Mhm.
everything clicking, right? We want things flowing. So, yeah, we were going to be able to see these changes across the board, ideally outside of brain balance too. How could you not, right? So, this program, just kind of summing this up, if you want to finish this up.
Yeah, so again, you get everything that you need with the program, and again, we're meeting with you weekly to really guide you through that. You get all the equipment. All we're really asking for is for you to show up and to, if you have that motivation, but then also that tablet, iPad, to really make sure that you have all the equipment that you need. If you don't happen to have an iPad or a tablet, you can also just check your local library to see if you can get one loaned out. But any situation, I mean, we can always work through that. So feel free
Mhm.
to, let us know exactly what your situation is so that we can find those solutions for you. But I mean, we know it works. We've been working with so many different adults, especially right now. One of the top things that I've been seeing is social anxiety or just anxiety itself. So I know that this helps. There's been a lot of just great feedback. So yeah, we look forward to hopefully working with you, or yeah, start with the assessment.
And so our program, as we mentioned earlier, is research based. So literally, even today, I had to speak with a couple folks. Like, does it work? And that question is a really fair question. We're a non-medical program, so I want to make that clear too. We do not diagnose. However, our program was built upon over 60 research studies, and you can see all the research that we have collected and the research that we're part of as well on our website under the research tab. And Harvard is one of those studies that came out just a couple years ago, really powerful, showing how it can be just as effective as someone who's diagnosed with ADHD and on the correct medication and on the correct dose and without the symptoms, right, and long-term solutions. So it's still an ongoing study, but it's very encouraging to share with the community that there is another way, right? Because even with medication, not everybody responds to it. So for whatever reason folks want to come to us for, and a lot of folks I know who signed up for this webinar tonight, it is ADHD driven, know that that is one of our specialties. We've worked with over 50,000 individuals at this point, so we have a lot of data and we know over half of them have struggled with attention or focus. Diagnoses are not, right? And that's really what we care about, is the results, not the diagnoses, and real long-term solutions that really create those healthy lifestyles and healthy brain as well. And speaking of healthy brain, Cambridge Brain Sciences really was another incredible research paper that came out, I think, a year or so ago. And what it showed was nearly all the participants who went through our program for at least 3 to 5 months showed a statistical improvement in 11 of the 12 cognitive tasks that we assessed. And those areas include attention, inhibition, different types of reasoning, and memory as well. And really, as little as 1 month doing a program like Brain Balance showed a cognitive change as well. So we're really encouraged by that, and that's something we'll be able to assess as well when you visit with us. And then furthermore, speaking of neurotech earlier, UCSF is our latest folks that we're collaborating with and doing research with to really understand again how focus and rhythm and timing all ties together and how we function. And so I'm really excited for that in the future, maybe in the next year or so, of what they're able to learn. But UCSF, if you didn't know, is one of the top neuroscience researchers in the world. So we're thrilled to be working with them. And then lastly, Angie was talking about mental health. Yeah, this is another piece that I hear a lot as well from kids, as young as 4 or 5 with anxiety to the adults, right? A lot of you also mentioned different mental health concerns. And the beautiful thing is nearly every person who went through our program as well, on average, had a 40 to 50% improvement in mental health. And again, that positive snowball effect, right? How could you not? Things are clicking, you're starting to achieve in the world, be successful, you're able to manage your emotions and recognize those emotions and have more positive social connections and communication. So it is really exciting whenever we have a student, that's what we call everyone, a student who comes through our program, graduates with just a complete different mindset and attitude and esteem and confidence, much better equipped to meet their needs, not just learning tools like most programs offer, but having that toolbox to use those tools effectively and efficiently and consistently as well. So we definitely uh, put a lot of work into this, right? And so this program is a journey, it is a commitment, and we ask you to be a part of that with us. It's not us trying to fix anything. You have these beautiful gifts that we want to help enhance and help you not struggle, but it is time and energy that is required out of both of us. So in the program, it's a minimum of 3 months, as Angie mentioned. The pricing starts at $4,500. It includes the weekly performance coaches, it includes one-on-one nutrition sessions, it includes all the on-demand resources for our program portal, and then the program kit, which includes the neurotech that we discussed as well, and access to some of those proprietary apps that will help you train. So it's extremely thorough, it's extremely comprehensive, and will take, work from both parts, again, to really see and make those changes that you are wanting and what led you here tonight. We can talk about different payment options when we see you for our assessment. So the assessment, by the way, usually takes about 2 hours. The assessment is $195. The assessment component is only about an hour or so, but again, moves through very quickly and looks at a lot of different areas of development and functioning and cognition. And then we usually chat with you for about 30 to 45 minutes or so about your overall challenges and concerns and goals to make sure this is the right fit. And then we'll schedule a time to speak with you afterwards to go over the report and then make those next decisions. And that's when we would present the time frame that we're recommending, the quote, how much does it cost if it's more than 3 months, what if you need more coaching sessions rather than one time a week, if you're someone who needs a little bit more push, right? We can accommodate all of that. So we'll talk about that at the assessment chat, but starting with the assessment is really key. That is so important to me, because if you don't know what's going on, then how do you address it, right? And we're all about getting to the root of the issue. So in our assessment, again, we're able to tell you so much more than the typical assessment in how your brain is functioning, how everything is coming together or not. And these are just some of the success stories we've had out of, again, over 50,000 people we've worked with over the last 10 plus years now. All right. So we want you to come say hi. Again, I'm the center director here. You'll be chatting with me quite a bit. Angie's our program director, so she helps manage those communications and training sessions as well. And then Chanel is our head coach. So either Angie or Chanel typically are your one-on-one performance coaches to, again, give you that extra oomph and level of support, and not just, a recorded screen. Here's to motivating yourself, when that's exactly the reason, that issue is exactly the reason that led you to us. So we're here for you. We're part of your team. Please stay connected with us, okay? You can call or text us, whatever is easiest. We have 2 centers, by the way. I do want to mention that, one here and again, and one in Chula Vista. Chula Vista is our satellite center. So no matter which center you call, it's all going to come back to the San Diego space as well. The assessment, though, it is at the San Diego Center, not at the Chula Vista Center, and it's typically Monday morning. So kind of account for that and just let us know what can work for you. And then, if you know anybody else who's struggling, whether it's a kiddo, a family member, a coworker, I've had a lot of different referrals. We appreciate that. We're a small business too. Let them know, hey, there's a different solution out there that they may not have ever considered. And you can either share their information with us. We would love to just get in touch with them, because that first step is always hard, or you can share this recorded presentation with them as well. Okay. So keep learning more. Stay in touch with us on social as well. We have a lot of resources that we post pretty regularly, especially on our YouTube channel. You can learn a lot more about yourself and ADHD. Some of that stuff, the language is geared towards the kiddos most of the time, since that's a lot of our population that we work with. However, the information is still valid for you and your adult brain. How things are connecting or not, whether it's ADHD, dyslexia, sensory processing, emotional regulation, executive functioning especially, that's all the same, whether you're a child or an adult. We have to still train those overall connections, okay? So stay in touch with us with our events as well. Social emotional learning is really important to us. We build a lot of that into our entire program, whether it's a kid or adult, right? How do you manage yourself? How do you recognize these emotions? How do you take those skills and apply it inward and outward? So we are finishing up our SEL contest. National SEL Day, Social Emotional Learning Day, was last Friday, but through the 17th, if you come in and do one of our daily challenges or more, we can give you a special prize. And the individual that completes the most challenges will win a free assessment. And this is valid for you as well. So if you can try to do as much as you can, go to our website or go on our social media channels. You can see all those daily challenges. And then if you can come by one of the centers, actually tomorrow's only San Diego, since the Chula Vista Center is not open on Wednesdays. If you come by San Diego during normal business hours, we can collect that prize and enter for a chance to win, okay? And then lastly, next month we'll have another presentation on the brain and sensory processing. The synchronization of our systems is really key. And again, when one thing is off, everything is off. We need everything to be coordinated and firing together and wiring together. So learn more, RSVP for that if you are interested. Okay. So that is the end of our presentation. I would love to hear any questions from you. Again, you can type in the chat box, or you can um, uh, unmute yourself if you don't mind being recorded. If you want to ask a private question, you can message Brain Balance of San Diego. That's Kenny, our coordinator, center coordinator, who will help moderate. Andrew, did I miss any questions? Or Kenny, did we miss any questions that people had asked in their registration?
I think we pretty much covered all of them.
Yeah, I think we addressed everything.
Because we are non-medical, we also don't accept insurance. I know that's one of the questions that was on there, if we accept insurance or not.
But we can talk to you about alternatives and how you can cover the cost of this program too. So there's many other avenues. Give you all a couple more minutes. It takes time to process, we know. It takes time to type too, if you're typing. But we are so proud of you for joining us tonight. I know everyone's busy, and the fact that you want to learn a little bit more about yourself or to support someone else, I think is quite admirable. And the more you learn, my background's in education, the more you learn, the more you can, or the better you can, I should say, to make those right decisions for yourself and for your family. And decisions that hopefully are much more effective and in line with your values and goals than some of these other programs, the traditional routes that are out there for you. So clearly, you've been through the ringer. That's why you're here now, and you want answers. So hopefully we can provide you with those answers with that assessment. And as Angie mentioned, or maybe I did, we'll have that assessment special for you if you're able to book by tomorrow. So Kenny will follow up. All right, I don't see any other questions. Kenny, do you have anything coming through?
No, I don't have anything.
Awesome. All right. Well, then have a good night, everyone. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.